thank you all very much for joining us as we return to Kerby Centre's Live Well, Be Well ongoing series of online mental well-being presentations, provided with the support of Ecclesiastical Insurance Community Impact Grant and the United Way, Calgary and area. Before we begin, as we gather here today, it's vital we also remember the peoples who've gathered here for millennia. This is the Treaty 7 land of the Indigenous peoples of Southern Alberta, the Blackfoot nations of Siksika, Piikani, Kainai, Tsuut'ina First Nation, the Stoney Nakoda nations of Chiniki, Bears Paw and Wesley, and the historic home of the Northwest Métis and Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. It is with the goal of reconciliation that we acknowledge the land that we get on which we gather, and we thank the elders of these nations for their timeless contributions to this land. And again, welcome back. We hope that you've enjoyed your summer outdoors and reconnecting with friends and family. And now that the weather is turning, the potential of isolation is looming. We're pleased to continue to offer these informative sessions to help keep you informed and engaged. This is a very special presentation today as we honor our community of older adults during Active Aging Week. This week is meant to celebrate how positive the process of aging can be. Active Aging Week encourages adults over the age of 50 to take advantage of all that life has to offer. The goal of Active Aging Week is to promote wellness initiatives and to get bodies up and moving. Kerby Centre has long supported Active Aging Week and provides opportunities for older adults to stay active, informed, and live their best lives, including presentations such as this. When one thinks of mental health, the immediate thought goes to isolation, depression, anxiety that we're all experiencing as a result of the pandemic and what we've all been through this past year and a half. However, there are many facets to mental health, and learning how to identify and manage your symptoms is key. This year, more than ever, we've come to understand that not being okay is okay, and the value of reaching out and staying connected. Something we try to do with this series of presentations. Today, we're pleased to welcome Kerby Centre's very own Vineeta Kapoor, who will provide an informative presentation to help you learn how to manage your stress. Vineeta is Kerby Centre's Manager of Information Resources and holds a master's degree in psychology, along with a postgraduate diploma in guidance and counseling, and has over 18 years of experience working as a psychologist and psychotherapist with different population groups. She also has a certificate from Hospice Foundation of America for dealing with complicated grief in the COVID-19 era, a certificate in the science of well-being from Yale University, and has taken courses in autism, dyslexia therapy, and special education needs. We're so lucky to have her within our group of colleagues. Vineeta, thank you so much for joining us today. What can you tell us about the toll stress can take on our health, and what can we do to manage it?
Thanks, Colleen, for the introduction, and good evening, everyone. Stress is something we all face in our experience in our daily lives, and whether it's a major stress or something minor that's troubling us, and stress can be good and bad too. Good stress? Yes, I'm right. Stress can be good, but it all depends on what proportion we are going through it and how we manage it. So today's presentation, I would be talking about what is stress and what are the various reasons that we may be experiencing stress. Are we experiencing it for the right reasons, or is it self-created? And what are the strategies we can adopt to manage it effectively? So what is stress? Stress can be seen through mental and physical symptoms such as irritability, anger, fatigue. And what is anxiety? Well, anxiety is persistent, excessive worries that don't go away even in the absence of a stressor. So stress is a reaction people have to excessive pressures or other types of demand placed upon them. It arises when they worry that they can't cope. It's beyond their control. So most of the stress we experience is self-generated. Yes, self-generated. How we perceive life, whether an event makes us feel threatened or stimulated, encouraged or discouraged, happy or sad, depends to a large extent on how we perceive ourselves. So self-generated stress is something of a paradox because so many people think of external causes when they are upset. We always blame someone outside, like, okay, I'm stressed because of this person, because this happened to me. So all the external causes. Recognizing that we create most of our own upsets is an important first step towards coping with them. I'll repeat this. So we create most of our own upsets, and it's important that we recognize that. And that would be the first step towards coping with stress. So as you can see, stress happens when pressure is greater than the resource. So remember this. So when we feel that we are not equipped with all the right things, we won't be able to cope, that stress happens. Stress, anxiety, and depression. So stress is usually a precursor to anxiety, and anxiety is usually a precursor to depression. So stressful life events often precede anxiety disorders, and patients with anxiety are most likely to develop major depression after stressful life events occur. Stress leads to anxiety, anxiety leads to depression. Now, what are the triggers of stress? What causes stress? There can be external as well as internal stressors. Amongst the external stressors, when we think about it, it might be the physical environment or the social interaction, the people we come in contact with, we talk to, major life events that might happen, or daily hassles. Let's talk about these one by one. Coming to physical environment, noise. Too much noise can eventually make you stressed. Too many bright lights, yes, these can cause stress. If there's a lot of heat, you might not be in a good temperament. It might stress you out. Or if you are in confined spaces, that can also be a good reason that you might feel stressed. Coming to social interaction, the people we are surrounded with, if somebody is rude, yes, it can stress us. Or somebody is too bossy, trying to be dictatorial or command or just tell us what to do. Aggressiveness by others. If somebody is behaving in an aggressive manner or even talking in an aggressive tone, that might be a stressor. Or bullying, as we all know. Bullying, whether it's in a school setting or at a home setting or at a workplace, it might be a good reason to be stressed out. Coming to major life events, birth, death, or a change in the marital status, all these can be a stressor. And the daily hassles, we all know. Commuting, when we are going to office or there is a big traffic jam and we are having a look at our watch every second minute to see, oh, there's the red light. I'm going to be late today for office. Or, oh my God, there's a traffic jam. People get stressed out for these little things. Misplaced keys. I've lost my keys. Now what to do? Or I've lost my wallet. Or where did I keep my phone? Mechanical breakdown. Something breaks down. Something's not working. You are stressed. So all these are external stressors that cause stress in people. Coming to internal stressors, what's happening inside you that would stress you out? These could be lifestyle choices, negative self-talk, a mind trap or a way of thinking, some personality traits. Let's talk about these. So coming to lifestyle choices, caffeine, having too much coffee could also be a stressor. Though we feel that there's never too much coffee, but yes, caffeine plays a major role. Lack of sleep, if you're not getting enough sleep in your life, you wake up grumpy. No, I'm not able to focus on my work and I'm stressed out about that. Yes, having good sleep is important. Or if you have an overloaded schedule, You have lots of things to do, so much less time. 24 hours are not good enough for me, not much. So I need more time. How am I able to, how will I meet my deadlines? All these stress people out. Negative self-talk, pessimistic thinking. No, this won't happen. Always thinking about negative outcomes. No, this is not going to go well. I'm going to be late. I'm not good enough. Self-criticism, over-analyzing things. It might be a simple thing happening in people's lives, but they over-analyze it. Oh, she went past me. She didn't even look at me. She might be upset, or maybe she's just ignoring me. So just over-analyzing. It might just be a simple thing that the other person was just in a hurry and didn't even notice what was around them. But negative self-talk can be a major internal stressor. Mind traps, unrealistic expectations. Having realistic expectation can go a long way in removing stress in your lives. I've seen parents having unrealistic expectations for their kids. Oh, their child should come first in class, get all the A grades. Yes. Even in spite of knowing what their child's caliber is, what their child's IQ level is, what their aptitude is, having unrealistic expectations creates stress. They create stress for themselves as well as for people around them. Taking things personally. So the person might be good, but he might be having a bad habit. A bad habit does not make a bad person. So taking things personally. He said that. A person might say something in a group of people, but taking things, oh, he meant that. He said that just keeping me in mind. All or nothing thinking. So it's either all good or all bad, nothing in between. Exaggeration. Exaggeration means overthinking, putting more emphasis on what is not required. It might be a very simple thing that might be happening, but exaggerating that, oh, this might lead to, maybe somebody just had a small cut, a paper cut on the finger, but exaggeration of that, it might be a very big bruise, or it might lead to some more medical complications, and stressing out. What if, focusing more on what if. Okay. Rigid thinking, not being flexible or adaptable in their way of thinking, being very rigid about, okay, this must be done. And people who have a very rigid thinking are more stressed. Some of the personality traits are also internal stressors, like people who are perfectionists, who want everything perfect. They are stressed about, because even if there is a small mistake, they would focus on that mistake, or that one dot that's wrong on that white page. So being a perfectionist adds to the stress. Or if you are a workaholic, always thinking about work, you stress yourself out and also stress the people around you. So these are some of the internal stresses we need to be careful. Positive stress. Yes, after all the reasons, external stressors and internal stressors, I say that there can be positive stress too. So what does positive stress do? It spurs motivation and awareness. It acts as a stimulator to cope with challenging situations. It provides a sense of urgency and alertness needed for survival when confronting threatening situations. So, but stress is all not the positive. There are negative implications of stress too. So it is a contributory factor in minor conditions such as headaches, digestive problems, skin complaints, insomnia, and ulcers. I've seen a lot of people, they have an appointment with a doctor, or they need to get a shot, and they start having digestive problems, an upset stomach, just thinking that they need to go to the doctor. Or they start having sleepless nights or ulcers. Excessive, prolonged, and unrelieved stress can have a harmful effect on mental, physical, and spiritual health. So the stress is not good, and you never good, especially when it's in excess. Now, what are the physical symptoms of stress? How do you know that you are stressed out? So your sleep pattern changes, you feel fatigued, tired, indigestion changes, upset stomach, headaches, pains, you feel breathless, palpitations, tingling hands and feet, sweating and trembling, dizziness, fainting. So these are all the physical symptoms. So the first step to controlling stress is to know the symptoms of stress. Why is it happening? This is happening to me. I'm having a headache. Am I stressed out? Ask yourself that question. So recognizing stress symptoms may be harder than you think. Most of us are so used to being stressed, we often don't know we are stressed until we are at the breaking point. So you might be having sleepless nights and you might just think, oh, I didn't get up in the morning every day and say, I didn't get a good sleep. But you don't realize that there is some reason why you didn't get that sleep. Recognize the symptom and why it is happening. That's important. There could be some mental symptoms too, like lack of concentration. I'm not able to concentrate in my work because I'm stressed. So the moment you get this in your mind, there might be something, the reason behind why you are not able to concentrate. Think over it. Memory lapses, you get forgetful. Difficulty in making decisions, feeling confused, not able to see things in the right perspective, finding it difficult to make decisions, panic attacks, because it's getting impulsive, not knowing what to do. Disorientation, it could be disorientation of thoughts, time, space. So the person looks utterly confused, or confusion. So not having the right perspective of the reality. There might be some behavioral symptoms too, like your appetite changes. You might start eating too much or too little. So some people I've seen, they start having a lot of binge eating. So having a lot of junk food, chips, cold drinks, drinking too much alcohol. There might be eating disorders, anorexia or bulimia, increased intake of alcohol and other drugs, so that they forget what's bothering them, getting out into a different world. Increased smoking, restlessness, fidgeting. I've seen a lot of people when they are waiting for the interview to happen outside the hall, or just few minutes before the interview, or even during the interview, having a pen in their hand and so because they are all stressed out. So these are symptoms, these are behaviors that the other people can easily recognize that you are stressed out. And this is a good check for yourself too. Nail biting. A lot of people I've seen, especially since childhood, like even with small children, before the exam or just before the result, nail biting, fidgeting, restlessness, not able to sit in one place, or walking up and down the alley. So these are some common behavioral symptoms. Hypochondria, having a feeling that I have an illness, though there might not be anything actually. Coming to emotional symptoms. Stress might lead to bouts of depression, feeling depressed, feeling low, not feeling like, not being interested in doing anything. Impatience or racing thoughts. So I want it now. So that's that feeling. I'm not ready to wait for some time, give time to something to happen. I want to know the decision now. I want to see the result now. So these are racing thoughts. Anger, irritability, or restlessness, major symptom. So when people are stressed out, they're more irritable to talk to. They're more restless. angry. They get angry quickly. They may shout at you or even get aggressive. Or on the other hand, tearfulness. They might break down very quickly just for a simple reason. And some people who don't know these people might actually be surprised. There was nothing so much that this person cried at so fast. Like, what did I say? But it might be something that might be going on in the person's head. And maybe it was the last straw that the person broke down. Feeling overwhelmed, unmotivated, or unfocused. So not being able to chalk out a plan, or not being able to focus, or not feeling motivated to do something. Deterioration of personal hygiene and appearance. So these people, they might not care about how they look or how they present themselves, or even caring about the self-care might be lacking. So now, after seeing all these symptoms, let's talk about the long-term stress. If the person has been stressed for a long time, it could lead to heart disease, high blood pressures, stroke, digestive problems, sleep disorders, irritability, fatigue, addiction, loss of memory, depression, or even cancer. So long-term stress takes a heavy toll on your health, your mental health, your body, everything. This is something that you need to rectify, take care of before it gets worse. Coming to coping with stress. How do we deal with stress? Now that we know that we have the symptoms, what are the reasons, the external stressors, internal stressors. Now what do we do now? So there is this ABC strategy. So A stands for awareness. So what causes you stress? What's triggering the stress? And how do you react to it? So this is the situation that every time this situation occurs, it stresses me out. And then thinking about how do you react each time to it, that situation. The B in the ABC, the B stands for balance. So there is a fine line between positive and negative stress. How much can you cope with it before it becomes negative? So yes, situations stress people, but then there is a fine line. So little stress is always good, but do not cross that line so that it becomes from positive to negative stress. And C stands for control. So what can you do to help yourself combat the negative effects of stress? How can you control? What can you do to cope with that stress so that it doesn't turn into negative stress? So the first step to coping with stress is learning to recognize it. If you have suffered a loss, are struggling with an illness or disability, or are having trouble dealing with a major change in your life, know that symptoms of stress are normal and not a sign of weakness. It's okay to feel stressed out, and it's normal. It's not a sign of weakness. Prolonged sadness, anxiety, loss of interest in life, and giving up activities you once enjoyed are not a normal part of getting older. They could be signs of depression, and you need to understand this. You need to recognize the symptoms. Okay, I used to enjoy this particular activity. Now I don't feel like enjoying it anymore. So this could be a sign of depression. Coming to coping with stress, take care of yourself. When dealing with stress, it's important to get plenty of sleep and maintain a healthy diet. Avoid caffeine and alcohol. Get regular exercise. Exercise releases hormones that help you fight off stress and depression. Exercise can improve your sense of well-being. Participate in social activities. Find activities you enjoy that will give you more social interaction. You could try to learn a new language, mentor a child, or take up dancing. Talk about your feelings. This is a big one. Sharing your feelings with friends and loved ones is the best way to get these emotions out in the open, where you can start to deal with them. If others know what you are going through, you might find good social support to deal with those feelings. Learn relaxation techniques. Mind-body techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and yoga can be helpful. You might also relax by listening to music, reading, or participating in low-stress activities that you enjoy, such as a walk around your neighborhood would work. Put things in perspective. So accept that there are some things that you just can't control. Try to see the positive aspects of change. Solve whatever problems you can and let go of the rest. Also, don't forget the value of humor. Laugh things off. Get professional help. So if you're still struggling with stress or depression, talk with your healthcare provider or your doctor. Sometimes treatment with counseling or medication is needed to help you get back on track. Treatment is nothing to be ashamed of, and it usually does work. So research has shown that having a pet can reduce blood pressure and stress in the elderly. So many nursing homes also now allow pets to visit. Maintain sleep hygiene. Develop good sleep habits, have proper sleep schedules, stay away from watching TV or being on your phone at least an hour before going to bed. Take a light dinner. Other treatments effective for some people might include meditation, massage, or yoga. You can try that if you're comfortable with that. Now, this is a very good model that I strongly suggest for everyone. Thoughts, emotions, and behavior. These are interrelated. So thoughts are what we think affects how we feel and act, and how we feel affects what we think and do. And what we do affects how we think and feel. So let's talk more about this. So thoughts are the words that run through your mind. They are the things you tell yourself about what's going on around you. There are many different thoughts you could have about a single situation. Just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. Your thoughts are guesses about why something happened or about something that might happen. Coming up with new thoughts will help you see a situation differently. Now, feelings come and go as different things happen to you. You might feel happy, angry, and sad all in one day. So feelings, they keep changing. And actions are the things you do or the way you behave. So your thoughts and feelings have a big impact on how you act. So if you feel happy, you're likely to do nice things. But if you feel angry, you might want to act mean. So let's see this. So this is a nice situation that I always refer to. So what happened? So what's the reality? My friend hasn't spoken to me as much as usual over the past week. So now what are my thoughts? I thought Emma hasn't talked to me much this week. She must be mad at me. She's angry. So what happens to my feelings? When I think that like this, I feel sad and hurt. And then what happens to my action? Because I was upset, I ignored Emma and avoided her at school. So the reality was that my friend has just not spoken to me. And I started thinking that she hasn't talked to me. She's angry with me. And my feelings changed to sadness, and I'm feeling hurt about it. And since I'm feeling hurt that she didn't talk to me or she's angry with me, I've started avoiding her. So see the relation between thoughts, feelings, and actions. Now, just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. Your thoughts are guesses about why something happened, just guesses, or about something that might happen. Coming up with new thoughts will help you see a situation differently. So now let's think about what else could I think? So Emma might be upset with me, but maybe not. I don't know. So now you have given a chance that maybe she's upset and maybe not. So now how would I feel about this? So I'm concerned that she might be upset, but I'm not as sad as I was. And the new action would be, Like if she's mad at me or if she has another problem, ask her. So just going and finding out from Emma herself. Okay, so Emma, you aren't talking to me. Is there something wrong? Have I done something? Clarify. Another thought could be that maybe she is busy with school or something else, so that's why she's not talking to me. And if I'm thinking that way, I might just feel disappointed that I haven't talked to her, but I'm still understanding that she's busy. And the new action would be that I'll still stay friendly with her as usual, and I'll maybe just say a hello to her and not ignore her. Just think, because I'm not thinking that way. The third option for the thought would be that maybe she's upset about something unrelated to me. Maybe she's having a bad day, something which I am not a part of. And then the new feeling would be that now I start getting worried about her. Maybe I should do something to make her feel better. And then the new action would be that I go to her and find out what's going on. And is there something I can do to make you feel better? So situation is still the same. If you see this, the whole situation, it's about all the thoughts that made the difference. So when I'm feeling in a different way, if I'm putting everything on myself, oh, she's mad at me, then I get upset. If I feel that maybe she's busy, then I'm just disappointed and I still say a casual hello to her. But if I feel that maybe she acted because she's just having a bad day, then I might just offer her help that, okay, can I do something to bring a smile on your face? So thoughts, feelings, actions. Next time you feel stressed about something, about anyone in your life, just think about it. Is it just your thought? Do you need to change your thought pattern and move ahead with new feelings and new actions? Or what's the way forward? Now, reframing, change your thinking. Reframing, positive thinking. So reframing is another technique to change the way you look at things in order to feel better about them. There are many ways to interpret the same situation, so pick the one you like. Reframing does not change the external reality, but helps you view things in a different light and less stressfully. Positive thinking, we all know that. Forget dejection, despair, failure. Stress leaves us vulnerable to negative suggestion, so focus on positives. When you're stressed out, all the negative thoughts would come to your mind. But now the trick is to focus on positives. Focus on your strengths and learn from the stress you are under. Look for opportunities. Seek out the positive, make a change. How you think about what stresses you can actually make a difference. Simply changing the way you look at certain situations, taking stock of the positive things in your life, and learning to live with gratitude can improve your ability to manage stress and build brain resilience. Focus on the positives. Have a gratitude journal. Write all the things that you are thankful for and see the magic that happens. It would change your mood. Your mood gets better. You start feeling less stressed. You start feeling thankful for all the good things in your life. At least I am able to do this. So what? Change your behavior. That's another strategy. Get organized. So poor organization is one of the most common causes of stress. If you are not organized, there's no system in the process. It leads to chaos. Structured approaches offer security against out of the blue problems. So if you are more structured, you are more prepared for any problem that might occur. Don't overload your mind. Coming to time management, make a list. So when you are making the list, segregate into what must be done, what should be done, and what would you like to do. So learn to drop the unimportant activities. Say no or delegate. I've seen a lot of people who are workaholics or perfectionists. They They want to do everything. And it's difficult for them. And since they are perfectionists, they are not happy with the work that others do. And it's difficult for them to delegate stuff. So learn to delegate stuff. Say no if it's beyond your capacity. If you have a tight schedule, learn to say no, or find out or have an open dialogue into what must be done, what should be done, or what would you like to do. So must be done are the what is compulsory, and what should be done is, yes, this should be done. This is what is required. And what would you like to do would have all the activities that if you have time left, then you would certainly like to do those. Ventilation. It's a problem shared is a problem halved. So learn to share, vent out what's going on. Develop a support network through friends or colleagues to talk with. It's not always events that are stressful, but how we perceive them. Writing a diary or notes may help release feelings, but do not reread what has been written. Okay, I have written something that happened today in my life, and it's like telling it to someone, and it's out of your mind, out of your brain, and now you're feeling relieved. I've told it to someone. If you have a physical person whom you can talk to, or a friend, you're lucky enough to have them, tell them, share your problem with them. If not, diary writing or writing a journal can also help you release your feelings. But don't reread that, because if it's an unhappy incident, and if you are going through your diary again, reading what all you have written, it might bring out, again, you'll be experiencing the negative things again in your life. So it's best advisable not to read it again once you have already written it. Humor. That's my favorite one. Good stress reducer. Release muscular tension, improves breathing, pumps endorphins into the bloodstream, and it's the body's natural painkiller. So going through a problem or a stressful situation, just laugh it out. Diversion and distraction. Take time out, get away from things that bother you. Think logically. So we all need a change. So if you are very busy during your work days, take time off, relax, chill, just chill during the weekend. Go for a walk or a hike, or spend time with friends, have coffee meetings, just relax. Being assertive is also a technique. So being assertive involves standing up for your personal rights and expressing your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs directly, honestly, and spontaneously in ways that don't infringe the rights of others. So assertiveness helps to manage stressful situations and will in time help to reduce their frequency. The key to assertiveness is verbal and non-verbal communication. So how you communicate things, how firmly you are able to convey without infringing the rights of others, can go a long way. Seek information. Seeking information is good, because lack of information and fear of the unknown can lead to stress. But be cautious. You need to get information from reliable sources, from experts. Do not trust rumors. To conquer fear of the unknown, gather information about a specific circumstance, what actually happened. Seek information. Collecting and processing facts can solve the problem and regain emotional stability. So get into the depth of things. Like, I heard this. So is it really true? Let me find out. Check that the source that you are finding out is not someone who has a very shallow knowledge of something, but it should be from an expert advice if you are looking for. See, trust the source. It should be a reliable source of information. Social support groups can help you in stress management. Family, friends, people nearby that you can trust can be a helpful resource for you to turn to when you feel yourself losing control. They may also be able to help you identify stressful situations and know when to get you out of them. Stay connected. Support groups enhance feelings of acceptance, have a group of friends that you can count on. Hobbies. Hobbies serve as a good mental escape. Engage in stuff that you enjoy doing, like it could be gardening, knitting, sewing, or storytelling, or playing games, online games, doing stuff, cooking. It could be anything that you enjoy. Organizational skills can transfer to other aspects of life. Forgiveness. So forgiveness is considered an antidote for anger. Forgiveness is done for you, not the person who wronged you. I love this slide. So, and I love to read the sentences that are here again and again. So forgiveness is a means of letting go so you can move on with your life. Learn to forgive. Don't wait for an apology. Okay, if somebody comes and says, sorry, I will forgive them. Don't wait for that. Don't wait for the person to come and apologize. You forgive because it's good for you. Forgiveness also involves the aspect of acceptance. Now, one thing to note here is forgiveness does not justify a wrongdoing. We can sincerely forgive someone without excusing their actions. It actually has very little to do with the other person. It is all about letting the burden of our own resentments go. So let go of the resentment you are feeling. Forgiveness is a promise we make to ourselves to change our life. It is about releasing ourselves from the grip that hinders our well-being. The negative hold we have essentially allowed the other person to have over us. When we genuinely forgive someone, we do not revisit the offense. We do not hold it over the other person's head or relive the pain we have attached to it. When it is over, it's over. We have limited perspective into what motivates another to do, say, or act the way he does. We don't know what's happening with the other person. When we feel wronged, it is always worthwhile to consider the other person's point of view, to take the circumstances that may have influenced him to do what he did into account. Putting ourselves in someone else's shoes may be a very helpful healing tool. So you never know what someone is going through. Be kind always. I have a nice story here to share. So a car ahead was moving like a turtle and not giving me way in spite of my continuous honking. I was on brink of losing my cool when I noticed a small sticker on the car's rear. Physically challenged, please be patient. And that changed everything. I immediately went calm and slowed down. In fact, I got a little protective of the car and the driver. I reached home a few minutes late, but it was okay. And then it struck me. Would I have been patient if there was no sticker? Why do we need stickers to be patient with people? Will we be more patient and kind with others if people had labels pasted on their foreheads? Labels like lost my job, fighting cancer, going through a bad divorce, suffering emotional abuse, lost a loved one, feeling worthless, financially broken, and more like these. Everyone is fighting a battle we know nothing about. The least we can do is to be patient, kind, and compassionate. Let us all respect the invisible labels. Isn't it inspiring? I got this on one of my social media groups the other day, and I thought I must include this in the presentation. So the most difficult cleaning job is cleaning the mind. Attempt this job regularly. We all need to do this on a regular basis. Was it a bad day? Or was it bad 5 minutes that you milked all day? So something that we stress about might just be a matter of a few minutes, but we keep thinking about it for days and days and days. Think over it. That 5 minutes, or was it just 5 minutes that you milked all day? Something to think on. This is a nice video I have that I would like you all to see. Yoga for de-stressing.
Hi, I'm Judy Barr, Yoga Program Manager for the Cleveland Clinic. Today we're going to talk about tension in our neck and shoulders. We spend so much time hunched over our computer, our devices, our desk, even at the dinner table, that many times we put strain on our neck and shoulders, which can cause neck pain, even headaches. I'm going to show you a few postures today that are really simple to do, any place, one or all of them, to help relieve the tension, to open up your chest more so that you can breathe better, and to think more clearly, to feel better with your back. So the first one, very simple, and that's the beauty of these poses, is they're eloquently simple, and they really affect a lot of our different muscle groups very effectively. So the neck roll is we just drop our chin, and we're just rolling from one side and dropping down. You might hear some popping, and that's okay as long as there's no pain associated with it. Just rolling and coming back. The next are shoulder rolls, and these particularly really help to loosen the tight muscles in the front, the side, and the back of our shoulders. So going and rolling along one way and then rolling the other. These two poses alone can be really beneficial and not a bad idea to do several times a day. The next pose we're going to do is called fan pose. Move as far forward on the chair as you can, put your hands in the back of the chair, and then just slide up as far as you can, leaning forward while still keeping your elbows straight. If they're bent, you're not going to get the tendons in the shoulders that we're trying to get. So pulling your shoulders back, it feels really good. This one is especially good to do during the day while you're working at your computer. And pulling your shoulders back, take a long breath in and exhale. So you can really see the ribs moving, and notice how much this opens the chest, which helps to counteract gravity. And we take a nice long breath in and coming back and down. So the next pose we're going to do is primarily for your back. The idea here is as you cross your arm over your body, that the weight of the arm is in the supporting arm. This way all the muscles in the back can relax. So pull it over as far as it'll go. Again, no pain in it. You may even want to look towards the shoulder. Take a big breath in. You feel a nice stretch back by your shoulder blade. Really a big tension point. Then take that same arm, and as if you're going to shake hands, take it behind you, and then bending from one side and a nice tall spine, always lengthening, and over to the other. This gets a big muscle that comes down our back called the trapezius. Doing the other side, same thing. Weight of the arm, pull it away, look even slightly and pull. You'll feel a nice stretch in that shoulder blade. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, bring it around, hold on or just put it back as far as you can, and again, go side to side. That's getting some edges of the muscles that get really tight in our back when we sit. The last pose is called stir the pot, and it's using gravity. Put your elbow or your hand on your leg and let your arm just hang for a moment. And then just initiate a circle. We call it stir this pot, and you see why. But it helps lubricate the joint, the shoulder, and it actually helps you to understand what it takes to release the tension too by just letting it hang. And then of course, you'll do it on both sides. So the big piece about helping to relieve the tension in the neck and the shoulders would be perhaps noticing it or making it a regular routine to do one or any of these poses during the course of the day. You'll see you'll feel better, you'll think clearer, be able to breathe, and have a more productive and enjoyable day. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm sure all of you would go back to the video or see the recording. This video is also available on YouTube. You can go there and make it a habit to practice these poses to de-stress yourself. Coming to self-care. So you're now entering a stress-free zone. Try not to sit for long periods. Stand up and move around throughout the day. Doing chores count. Learn to relax. So multiple relaxation techniques like meditation, Tai Chi, yoga, or just a walk, whatever helps to quiet your mind and make you feel more at ease, can lower your stress level. Meditation in particular is tremendously beneficial for managing stress and building mental resilience. Studies also show that getting out into nature can have a positive restorative effect on reducing stress. So move your yoga mat out into the yard or turn off that treadmill and take a walk in the park. Your brain will thank you for it. Online training, so check out online workouts, connect virtually to work out with friends and family. Plan your day and stick to it. So when you have a plan how you're going to spend your day, it would help to manage your anxiety. You have a schedule, everything is in place. You have a structure to your day, not staying in the bed for till noon and then deciding, okay, now let me get up from the bed and okay, I'll switch on the TV, sit in front of the TV for another 3-4 hours. We have some junk food. There won't be any structure if you live like this. So plan your day with some meaningful tasks. Stick to it. You'll feel happy that you were able to accomplish something. Get active. Frequent physical exercise is associated with less psychological distress. Results show that social support tends to promote more frequent exercise. More emotional support was related to better exercise habits. So if you have good friends or someone whom you can play with or exercise with, more the merrier. Find new ways to communicate. So if you socialize in person, you can do it over the phone or virtually. So when your plate is running over and stress takes over, it's easy to let personal connections and social opportunities fall off the plate first. But maintaining stimulating social relationships is critical for both mental and physical health. Create a healthy environment, inviting friends, family, and even pets to combat stress and exercise all your brains. There are lots of games to divert your mind, like Mahjong, Scrabble, chess, jigsaw puzzles, treasure hunt, daily word search, solitaire. So you can play them online, in person, whatever you are comfortable with. There are lots of apps also now to deal with stress and anxiety, both for Android and iOS. So Reach Out, Breathe, Self-Help for Anxiety Management, Pacifica, Mind Shift, brilliant apps. You can download it on your phone, and these would help you to deal with stress and anxiety. Laughter plays a big role. So laughing can boost your intake of oxygen-rich air. It stimulates your heart and muscles, enhances the endorphins released by your brain. And the endorphins trigger a positive feeling. So these are interconnected. It improves your mood. Laughter can help lessen depression and anxiety and make you feel better. Let's see this.
Makes us better than a good laugh. It draws people together and it releases tension. But there may be another benefit to laughing. It's helping some seniors get in shape. Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin is here now to talk about a new program that's called Laugh Active.
And good morning, Elise. And Laugh Active is basically using simulated laughter to help older adults get in shape. So there are no jokes that you have to get, and there's no punchline that you have to listen for. You just sit down together and you laugh.
Waving laughter, ready, go.
At Del Mar Gardens, a senior living community in Smyrna, Celeste Green works the room, trying to get people giggling.
We're laughing on purpose. And what I like to say is we're laughing on purpose because it feels good and it's good for us.
And 95-year-old Martha Affelter is one of the first to catch the chuckle bug. She considers herself a lifelong laugher.
God gave us laughter to make us happy, so I appreciate anything nice that makes me laugh.
So we're going to do a laughter exercise.
Green, who earned her master's degree in gerontology from Georgia State University, recently founded Laugh Active, which incorporates simulated laughter, or laughter you can practice and learn, into an exercise program designed for seniors.
It's because laughter is actually shown to strengthen and relax your muscles. So what happens is exercise can seem very strenuous. And we try to add in a laughter exercise every 2 to 4 strength, balance, or flexibility exercises.
Here, there are no lame jokes or missed punchlines, just laughing for the sake of laughing.
It's based on scientific evidence that actually shows that your body doesn't know the difference between real laughter and just going through the motions of laughter. So what we do is we just laugh.
And a recent Georgia State study found that mixing laughter and exercise can help seniors build strength and flexibility and balance. Virginia Cooper is 87.
I loved it because it brings out the good part in you.
So what's that?
You smile. I smile all the time anyhow, but the laughter, it goes with it, then you just make your body complete.
At 93, Charlie Daniel says his wife laughs more than he does typically, but this class was fun.
If I get a good laugh, I feel good.
And as the workout winds down,
I thought they did terrific, and this is a pretty tough independent group.
Martha and her classmates say they'd do this again because laughing just to laugh feels pretty good.
I've always enjoyed laughter because I enjoy life. Yeah. I'm getting close to 100, but I still enjoy every moment. Yeah.
Martha's pretty wonderful. Laughing on command takes a little bit of practice, but it may also keep participants coming back because it's fun, and when you're having fun and you're working out, you are a lot more likely to actually stick with that workout.
Okay, so let's decide that we will be adding this laughter therapy in our schedule now. Now, there are some ineffective coping strategies. So all that we discussed were the coping strategies that really work. But all coping techniques that avoid stress rather than confront it are ineffective. So avoiding stress is not good. Our worst health concerns are examples of poor coping techniques. Drinking, if somebody resorts to drinking to get rid of stress, it leads to alcoholism. Fighting leads to spousal abuse. Drug experimentation leads to addiction. Avoidance of any kind perpetuates stress. When to see your doctor? If you feel like your anxiety and nervousness are uncontrollable, you should contact your doctor. Your doctor can help diagnose you with an anxiety disorder and determine the right treatment plan for you. Your doctor will refer you to a mental health professional or prescribe low dosage of medications for older adults to find the right dosage for your body. Psychotherapy may also be recommended to effectively manage your anxiety disorder. Anything that costs you your peace is too expensive. Remember that. So identify the triggers, be healthy, get organized, stop procrastinating, turn off your phone, don't be hooked to your phone all the time. Instead of being on the Facebook, face your friends in person, meet them, do something that makes you happy, accept the situation, be grateful, avoid multitasking. All this will help you manage the stress level. Now, today's to-do list, I will choose happiness, ignore negativity, forgive myself and others. And remember, my past will not define me. And I love stories, as you could have made out by this presentation. So there's another nice story for you before we end. So it's the sun and the cave story. One day, the sun and the cave struck up a conversation. The sun had trouble understanding what darkness meant. And the cave didn't quite get the hang of light and clear. So they decided to change places, switch roles. The cave went up to the sun and said, I see, this is beyond wonderful. Now come down and see where I have been living. The sun went down to the cave and said, gee, I don't see any difference. When the sun went down, it took its light along with even the darkest corners were illuminated. That's why the sun couldn't see any difference. There is a quote from an old book that says, the enlightened ones can never be sent to hell or pushed into darkness. They carry their heaven on their shoulders all the time. We thought that heaven is a place where we are supposed to go. Perhaps it was a state of mind we were supposed to achieve. If you are full of darkness within, full of negativity, fear, and doubt, you become a cave unknowingly. It's hell within, And no matter how much you accumulate, you still remain hollow. If you are illuminated like the sun, then the darkness of the cave wouldn't matter. You could be in the worst of circumstances. You'll still be able to find a blessing somewhere. You'll be carrying your heaven with you. Isn't that interesting? Okay. Now, how many of you are interested in having a stress test? So it's free, and I'll just take 1 minute to test your stress levels. So there's a quick brain teaser. The picture, I'm going to show you a picture, and the picture was used in a case study on stress levels at St. Mary's Hospital. So the picture has, when I show you the picture, look at both the dolphins jumping out of the water. The dolphins are essentially identical. A closely monitored scientific study revealed that in spite of the fact that the dolphins are so similar, a person under stress would find many differences between the two dolphins. The more differences a person finds between the dolphins, the more stress that person is experiencing. Now look at the image, and if you find more than 1 or 2 differences, you may want to enjoy a really relaxing holiday. So are you all set up? Okay, here goes the image. How did you do? Do you need a vacation? I do, apparently. Thank you so much. And this is my number. If you want to contact me anytime after that, feel free to get in touch with me.
Great presentation. Thank you very much. And I learned a lot myself. I enjoyed doing the video or doing the yoga, which is why I had my camera off. So some great tips there, Vineeta. And, you know, one of the things that I think I came away with, you know, loud and clear also was the negative self-talk. You know, and you and I have learned recently the story I tell myself, and is it necessarily really the true story? And the more you dwell on it, you know, the more you dwell on it, the worse it becomes. And I liked your idea about writing it down and then just putting it away, because the more you dwell on it, the more you think, oh, I should have done this, or I should have done that, or just it adds to the stress that you're carrying, I think. So that's a great tip, I think. That and I loved your idea about people having labels on their foreheads, because that would make life a whole lot easier, wouldn't it? If we could just understand, you know, yes, we should adopt the whole, you know, be kind to everyone, because you have no idea what anyone is going through. But it would be a whole lot easier if you could identify before you overreact. So that was a great presentation, and I think a lot of people might be interested in that link for the yoga, the chair yoga. But also wanted to make sure that I remind everybody that Kerby Centre does offer yoga classes. And I think Kari is doing them, or the Aditi is doing them online still. So if anybody's interested in yoga for stress management, then reach out to our Kerby Centre Education and Recreation. So at this time, I see we've got several questions coming in through chat. I'm just going to kind of weed through these, because I know we had lots of people trying to bring that to our attention here.
I'm seeing the chat now that about the black
Yeah.
rectangle that people could see. I wish I had known earlier.
Well, obviously you couldn't see it on your side, so it must be something that's just kind of embedded.
Pop up, yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Shika, very nice thought presented through sun and cave story. Myra says that they're very similar. Thank you, Vineeta. Great presentation from Aditi. And Nina, very nice presentation. At this time, if you have questions of Vineeta, if you're dealing with stress, yourself and you have been concerned about how to management, by all means, pop a question into Q&A, and Vineeta will be happy to answer a question for you. Jaya Seth, very nice presentation. Barb, a great presentation. Vineeta, thank you very much. Yes, Sydney, this will be posted to our YouTube channel. It usually takes a couple of days for it to be up there, and typically once I'm aware that it's up there, I'll send out a link to everybody as well. Dr. Shika Jalata very nicely presented and brought up certain thoughts which we rarely thought of regarding the difference in perception. And thank you everybody for joining us. Take care. And
thanks, Colleen.
Bye-bye.